This is our destiny. We about to lift our community so we can be all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. We building wealth, leaving legacy. This is our destiny. We about to lift our community so we can be all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. We building wealth, leaving legacy.
Donna Jean, you have to excuse me, but can we hear that jingle one more time, Donna Jean? I'm feeling it. Just one more time. We lift it.
This is our destiny. We about to lift our community so we can be all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. We building wealth, leaving legacy. This is our destiny. We about to lift our community so we can be all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. Yeah, we gon' be all around the world. All around the world, going all around the world. We building wealth, leaving legacy.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the SOS Show Live with Mary Evans on Sunday morning conversation with my guest host, Marsha
Easley,
Easley.
Easley, hey.
Hey, how
How
are
this
you,
morning? Oh, I'm great. I'm
Marsha?
blessed.
That is so good. Marsha, today we have a very important conversation this morning, Marsha. We
Oh,
could
yeah.
never talk about this topic enough. Black Lives Matter. And it's the Black Lives Matter. Is it a moment or a movement? Marsha, tell me how you feel about the Black Lives Matter.
You know what, Mary? I did a post not too long ago, a few weeks ago, when George Floyd funeral was cast, and I made a post about this very subject. Like, okay, everybody's all in the uprage, and everybody's sad, and everybody's mad, and everybody, are protesting, but what's going to happen? Because we've had this happen before with the other killings, and everybody gets all excited and get all into it, and then it passes, and you don't hear anything until it happens again. So that I'm very, very interested in this subject and what we come up with as a conclusion, because I asked a question on my Facebook page not too long ago. Is it a moment? Is it a movement? What is it?
Marsha, what was some of the comments you received, if you can recall?
A lot of the people that were commenting were saying the same thing. They were voicing the same opinions. We did get a lot of people said we think this last one got a lot of people's attention. So and I think it did because some people heard about the killings and especially our white counterparts, and it's like okay, but this one we got a lot of more people that got interested and got involved and finally started opening their eyes up and like, okay, this got to stop. This has got to stop. But how? How? What is it
Right,
gonna, like you see, what happened just the other day? They still doing it. They still shooting them. It don't matter. What's gonna
right.
take?
And the thing about it, Marsha, you see mixed posts. Some people saying, okay, the world is really is getting worse. But Marsha, I have to ask the question: is it more that now we have the camera phones and so many things are being videotaped? Um, and now it's not that it's getting worse. It has always been like this. It's just now because of the phones and everybody taking videos, we are seeing it more. I've thought about that post you made, Marsha. You know how you say we all get excited and we march and a lot of people go on their Facebook platforms to talk about the Black Lives Matter. But Marsha, lately it's been so many back to back. It seems like we used to get a little break in between.
Yes.
I was thinking about that. It seemed like we'll have a killing and they give us a little break. But if you look at what's going on now, Marsha, it's not a break at all. It's back to back to back to back. And it's alarming, concerning. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. And I
Because
don't
we're
even
not
know.
getting that break that we used to get. So when we would get all upset and have our marches, our protests, I think it died down because of the little break in between. So we can't lose the momentum. I don't care if it happened every 12 months, every 3 years. We have to keep going. But at this point, we're not getting a break from it. I
I
think
mean,
that
Mary, what can we do? I mean, what can we really do? We can protest, we can be upset, we can bear arms, we can fight back. What is it gonna take to make it stop? Or, I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what can we do. The NBA, okay, they made a stand, right?
yes.
They said they didn't play. Okay, so what essentially did that do? Can you explain what is your view on
So
why they did, what did that do?
I think them not playing for what they took a stand for 24 to 48 hours, I heard. And I want to
Yes.
talk on it much because I didn't read about it. I think that
Okay.
we have to take longer stands. I do believe when I read that we have to hit them in the pocket. They understand money, right?
Right.
I do believe, Marsha, if we start like owning our own things, I do believe it'll make a difference because we don't have to go to them. See, we are in a system and living in a world that's not made to accommodate us in no type of way. Not living financially, being successful. We have all strikes against us in so many ways, Marsha. They say have a good credit score. They say, get an education. There's so many things that we do. We do all of them, Marsha. I was 3 years ago turned down by a bank in Marsha. I have an 800 credit score, right? And I'm like,
Mhm.
how could that be? And matter of fact, I left that bank and went with Chase. I'm gonna say Chase, and went to another bank, Level One, and was approved.
Mhm.
So, Marsha, I just think we have so many strikes against us. When we
Mhm.
can start coming together and being our own bank, uniting and helping each other. I was talking to a lady across the street. She's 90 years old just yesterday about this topic. She said we have to have our own everything, so we don't even have to go in their stores for nothing. We don't have to go to their banks for nothing. We don't have to go to their grocery store for anything. But Marsha, do you think that's something maybe we won't see in our lifetime that could really happen? Do you believe that, Marsha?
I I don't see that, and I still don't see what that has to do, Mary, with the subject of Black Lives Matter. That's I know that's Black empowerment for sure. But
I'm gonna tell
you
you
know,
why. Because
tell
without
me
our
why.
money, when we start taking away what they need to live, Marsha, which they need our money, it changes things. When they
So
can
is it
kill
going
us
to stop
off
the
and no
police from shooting
repercussions,
us?
nothing happens, and we have to start somewhere. That's what I'm saying. When they start saying
Okay.
they're fighting back with empowerment, like you said, they're fighting back with their
Hmm.
dollars. I think that sends a message. That's why the NBA was saying we're not going to play, because now they're saying we're not going to play. It affects their whole livelihood.
Hmm.
that's what is being said.
Yeah.
So
But
it
I and
all
I
ties in. You know what I'm saying?
but
But she
they were
also
not
told me,
they
Marsha, at 90 years old, she lived during the war. You know, when we had. She said, Mary, I never want to live through this again. But
mm,
that's gonna start, and they've already started. When we start
yeah,
shooting back and killing them as well as they killing us. Now she's 90. She said, Mary, this is what the world is headed to. She said it's not gonna be much longer, and they're already starting to shoot back. So
yes.
when you say what are we to do, she's 90, and she said, Mary, when we really start firing back and killing them back. She said, I lived through it once. She said it's a horrible thing to live through, but she believes, Marsha, that's where we're headed. The thought of that, Marsha, scares the hell out of me. But another part of me say, is that really what it takes?
That's
What is your
hey,
thoughts on that, Marsha?
that might be what it takes, Mary. I'm a law abiding citizen, but whenever I'm driving or out and I see those lights, I don't care if they're going past me, whatever, those police lights behind me, I get nervous. I get nervous whether they're coming after me or anybody else, but it really makes me nervous. And I think that's a terrible way to live. And like I say, I'm law abiding. I don't do anything against the law. But just think about how can you imagine how these young black young men and women are when they get in the car and that happens? Why do we have to live in fear? We might have to take up arms. I don't see any other way it's gonna stop. It's gonna be civil war, right? All right in our own country. And we have no leadership. No leadership to even help. None.
And that's the thing. So, Marsha, have you ever thought about this? As fast as they taking us out very fast, and we're not multiplying as fast as they're taking us out. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Right.
And I read years ago a topic saying that they really want to wipe out the Black community. Marsha, I used to think it was nonsense when I used to read that years ago, but
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh my God, Marsha, I'm starting to really believe that's the agenda.
Yes.
Because what do you think when I used to hear that, I literally thought it was crazy. But now I'm thinking, is that really the agenda, Marsha? Between the police killing us and we're killing each other, Marsha, and
Yes.
we're not multiplying like we used to.
No.
Marsha, that's an issue. That is our issue.
It is, and it's a very serious issue, and you have to think about it. I mean, it's so many theories that we can go by, but when you start looking at them for real, like, man, that that might be true. This is a fact. It's not a theory anymore. It's actually a fact, and
You
it's
can actually
scary.
Google and watch
It's
several documentaries. And I'm telling you, Marsha, everything that I'm seeing now that I used to see years ago, I used to be like, oh my God, that don't make any sense. It's all lining up. And Marsha, I also was reading that we have a high percentage of abortions, right? We
mm,
have a high percentage of abortions. We have a high percentage of, they say, black on black crime. We have a high percentage of police killing
hmm,
us, right? So imagine with not multiplying like we used to, and we have
right.
those three issues going on, Marsha. That's a agenda that if it keeps up like this, it can really happen, Marsha.
Yes, that's true.
And
That
I'm
is so
asking
true.
anybody to listen. I'm like you, Marsha. We are lost for words. We are stressed out, anxiety, depression, all of those things in one that the Black community experience living in this world. That's killing us with stress and heart attacks. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
I'm like you, Marsha. I'm lost for words, and I was just hoping that we would have somebody that could come on just to give their feedback. And I even hear
Yeah.
some people say, Marsha, they have came immune to it, Marsha, to hear about another
Mm.
killing. And Marsha, when we start getting to the point where it just goes right over our head, I mean, we so
Oh
immune,
my
like
goodness.
it's normalcy. We should just expect for it to happen. I'm just
Wow.
really concerned, Marsha.
Yes. It's
And
sad. It's sad.
solutions,
And like I say, when you're talking about, wiping out the black race, they've had the governor had a whole conference just on a whole newscast just on how the corona is affecting the black community more than anybody else. I mean, so that's how was that? Why is that? Why is it just affecting us more? Why? I don't understand that at all. So it's
they did
we
a
are
march on
Mary.
Washington. Yes,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
they did a
Talk.
march on Washington. The new tagline is "Enough is enough." And
Right.
again, what can we do to seriously impact what is happening to us? I don't know if anybody knows. They say
I,
violence don't work, right?
right. And we're
But
out. I don't know. I believe, we can't just fight back because I'm sure we are definitely outgunned. So it's like
yes,
we're going to be the biggest casualties of a shootout because we are outgunned. I know a lot of black people that got the little guns and rifles, but ain't nobody got assault rifles and the guns that they out there, walking around with.
yes,
So I don't know where that ends. I don't. It the way that out to me has to end. It has to go with the police training. They have to make them accountable. That's it, Mir. They have to make police officers accountable as far as the subject of Black Lives Matter and us getting shot down for trivial things. So it
right.
has to start with training on the police. It has to start there. That's the ultimate right there. You
I
can't
guess,
do it, and
yeah,
they
that
have
is
to
the
be
ultimate. And a gentleman made a post yesterday, and he said, when you think about the police, right? The police came really, he said, really think about when police really started. It actually started during slavery. They used these words, white trash men that wasn't about anything, gave them a little badge, put on their shirt, and their job was to search and watch, look for runaway slaves. And so that mentality gave white men that had little of nothing, a little power and authority, and it has not changed the mindset since slavery. Now that's deep.
that's
When
deep.
police
That
started,
is deep.
police,
Yeah.
they had the signs as a runaway slave, or if slaves were given letters to go to the next plantation, that's when policing started. And I said, boy, that's
Hmm.
a deep comment, because
That is.
when policing started during the slavery, they did just what they doing now. Well, they not necessarily shoot, but they whipped them, they hanged them for the littlest bitty of things, right? And
Yes.
think about policing then and policing now. The mentality has not changed at all. Isn't that deep to think
Mm-mm.
about?
That's deep. And the bad part about it is they use some of us to help them do it. Because there was a
Yes,
lot of us that were what they called the Uncle Toms or whatever, that just so
yes,
they could, benefit from it, they had us, beating us. And so now we back to what we got right
yes.
now, Mary. Us killing each other, to not to change the subject too much, but we had too many of these shootings. We killing each other here right in our own city of Pontiac. And we need to give a little silence for these families and these shooting victims of the terrible, horrific things that have happened just in the last couple of days.
Just in the
It's
last couple of
terrible.
days.
Last
So
couple of days.
absolutely, yes. And we are praying for the families that are connected with the lives that was lost here in Pontiac the last couple of days. Yes, we definitely send prayer out to you from our staff in the SOS show. And you're right, Marsha. Um, a lot of, things that's happening, you hear white people, they come on my post all the time when I do a post. They say, what about you guys killing each other, And I always say, Marsha, I hate to hear that when you put a post up and then they go to question a black on black crime, right? Because there is
Right,
white on
right,
white crime as well.
right.
If you put a lot of people in a community, Marsha, where everybody is struggling, everybody is trying to pay the bills, trying to take care of their families. I don't care if it's all black, white, cats, dogs. If you put them all in a certain area, and in the predominantly black area, that's what you're going to get is more black on black crime. Like if you went to a Jewish community, and it's the same thing. So black on black crime is something that always they go crazy on some of my shows talking about if blacks don't care for each other, why should anyone care for them? And that just tears me to pieces, Marsha, to hear that.
Well, Mary,
Because
just think about that 17-year-old that everybody's talking about that walked down the street after he done shot some people up and waved his hand up talking about I shot people and the police gave him water and did this, and everybody knows and everybody has said it, black, white, red, green, brown, purple, polka dot, that if it had been a black man walking toward him with an assault rifle, he would not have walked 2 steps. And then they have the ignorant people to say, oh, well, one of the guys he killed was a pedophile. We didn't know that till after the fact. Do you think he asked the man first if he was a pedophile before he shot him?
yes,
No.
yes.
So that's something that came after the fact. So it's so many people trying to justify this young white guy shooting people, and it just blows my mind. I just don't get it. We all know if it had been a black guy, I know God knows that boy would not have made it to see the next day.
Marsha, because they shooting them in the back, let's not walking towards them with the rifle. I'll
You know what I'm
never
saying?
forget the gentleman that went into the church and shot up all the blacks in the church. And they actually, Marsha, I really thought it was a joke. Seriously. They stopped
Mm-hmm.
and got him something to eat before they took him in. Marsha, all I
You
can
know,
say is it seemed like it's a movie playing out. The things that are allowed just seem so unreal, and we'll just
mm-hmm.
keep, it's you just get wordless. You tired. Enough is enough. You just get so sick and tired of seeing it, but we cannot not have the conversation to try to come up with solutions to help people, because we are dealing with a lot with this COVID, the killings. It's more than enough to drive us insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So all I can say is anybody that would like to come on the show to help us is a topic that we'll keep bringing back to the show. I have to say, Marsha, I'm just worried. It has to be something that we can do. We just don't know what, and we'll keep having the topics. We'll keep talking about it, and
Well, Well, like
and
I said,
anything.
Mary, in closing that part out, I think we have to have the police officers have to be held accountable, and they have to know they're going to be held accountable, and get some different kind of training. They have to be held accountable. They can't be left. If they already have Al Sharpton has a bill coming out. He's trying to get enforced where that says that if a police officer use unusual or cruel or excessive force, to apprehend someone, then they're going to be held accountable. That's the bill he's trying to get passed. So maybe,
Wonderful.
if they know there's going to be consequences to what they're doing, maybe that'll help. That'll help in that area. And then, we have to keep reinforcing to our people at home. And when we out in the public and we're faced with police, we just, it really don't matter too much you do. You can get shot down, but at least you can try, to, alleviate that happening to you.
Yeah, I think we'll close on that, Marsha, and thanks for coming in and sharing your thoughts. I
Yeah.
thank you so much,
It's,
and we keep our people in prayer, the world in prayer. And thanks for tuning
yeah.
in to the SOS show. Coffee and
Yeah.
Conversation with Marsha Easley and Mary Evans. Thank you.
Yeah.